When disaster strikes,
all I know is there was an explosion.
We need our nurses to be prepared.
We've got a patient with a compromised airway
For whatever is thrown their way. And this simulation at John Brown University is meant to do just that. Prepare the nurses of the future.
The students are going to be doing a disaster drill. They don't know what the disaster is, but the background behind this is that we want them to be able to work with interprofessional teams with different students from the other schools that they've never worked with.
Pretty much we're just kind of learning how to deal with mass chaos, so it's going to prepare us for any kind of natural disaster.
JBU's Health Education Building was converted into a mock hospital, with everything from an ICU and an emergency room, to labs, to an operating room. And students took on various roles, including EMTs, critical care nurses, and even some non-medical roles.
The media that annoys all the nurses and tries to get patient information and stuff, so their job is basically to just kick us out.
With some students engaging in a few shenanigans.
Excuse me, you cannot be here today.
Meant to throw another obstacle at the students.
Going down, all the way down.
Go down the hallway.
It's hard to just do that in a sim lab or on like a rubber dummy or something. So to really be able to act out those moments and situations where there's kind of high intensity and everything, it's good to have those experiences, help you learn and help you grow as a nursing student, and one day just be a great nurse.
Just being able to be put in a position of pressure and like learning how to do everything probably will make us feel a lot more confident if the situation was to ever arise.
And not only did the students put their technical skills to the test, but by working with students they've never met, they were also able to build soft skills they'll need throughout their careers.
Being able to work with people you don't know prior, that just helps you being able to build up communication and not be afraid to just reach out to somebody you don't know already.
And instructors say this allows their students to learn in ways they can't inside the classroom.
I am not stable, excuse you.
and you're stable enough.
There's not a way for us to train them in an individual sim lab for this. They need that big environment, and they need the interprofessional and interdisciplinary team membership for this to be able to truly learn and see what's going to happen.
Giving these students just another tool to prepare them for the workforce.
Obviously, you're never going to know what it's really like until you get into that situation, but this is probably the closest thing you can experience to that.
I've been listening to music all my life, and there's a lot of involvement in it and a lot of work for some of these guys because they work all day and then they come down here and play music at night because they love it. We live in Bentonville, Arkansas, and have for the past 47 years. There were people having music in Rogers, and we went over there. We've always been interested in music, and Mr. Skase played music, and so we thought, why can't we do that in Bentonville?
I came in 2008, and I was actually one of the people that was in Rogers, and that's how I met Mr. and Miss Skates that, started this here in 2002. I've been here ever since.
I used to tell her every day I love her.
We got lots of new musicians. Anybody can play an instrument, it's got to be acoustic.
The older musicians they've already paid their dues, and they can teach the younger ones how to change chords, how to do certain songs a certain way, and just learn from the best. I believe that our seniors are the best that we've got up here, and they're eager to teach.
Trying to make a dollar, get me smaller, I'll pay back someday.
I want the younger generation to understand what we're doing and learn the music that came back from even the 1800s, because some of the songs that we play are from way back then, before the Civil War. And I think it's important that we know our heritage, where we came from.
It's like they're adopting these kids to come in and to learn and to carry on their lineage. I think that this type of music needs to be carried on even after we're gone, and the younger generation are the ones to do it.
All right, let's go, D5!
These guys really are, some of the closest people I'm to, and we are family. I'll know these people for the rest of my life.
It's not your typical family, but for Blaine Wilson, he wouldn't trade it for the world.
I was looking for something to do and came out here and started messing around and met a bunch of guys, and they talked me into playing some tournament paintball, played a season, and then started kind of managing, kind of captaining the team.
Over the years, NWA United, the paintball team based out of Tawnytown, has recruited players from around the region. And even though they're not the first team to represent the name,
one of the most successful teams to come out of Northwest Arkansas is the original NWA United. It was in the early 2010s. They were a real successful Division III and Division IV team. They did a lot of traveling. They went to World Cup as well. They took a lot of podiums.
Carrying on the legacy of the original team, Wilson and his teammates have done their best competing in series tournaments.
We play Division V X-Ball, play in the Elite X-Ball League, which is based out of Salina, Kansas. It's a 5-tournament series starting in February, and the last one was in September. And we took 3 first places, 2 second places, and we won the series title for the Elite X-Ball League. A part of that is we were able to win a trip to World Cup in Orlando.
We're really excited because it's the biggest tournament in the world.
A feat that they've achieved thanks to hard work.
It's a sport where you have to work cohesively together. No matter how good an individual player may be, you have to work as a team in order to be successful at it.
That's 100 balls per second that's going to be in the air. It gets a little wild.
Anybody can pay to get in the World Cup, but when you earn it, when you win a series title, like, you're there for a reason. You're there because you worked hard all season. You worked together as a team. You grew together as a team. It really does, like, give you a sense of pride.
And the brotherhood they've built.
Hey, it's a 3-on-2!
Now a family that takes care of each other on and off the field.
They're some of the best friends I have now. The friendship and like the bond that you're building with these guys, it just gets even more intense out on the field.
You need to have your family to have your back because it's stressful. You're out there, you're exposed. Somebody might be coming to run you down, shoot you up, and you have to have people you trust. And that trust goes beyond just the field. We do life together. We take care of each other. You know, several of the guys had kids this year. One of our guys got married a few weeks ago, and we're all there celebrating and cheering them on.
Members of NWA United say they're confident heading into the tournament. But win or lose,
which we are going to win.
For these guys, World Cup is about a lot more than just accolades.
Win or lose, I'm going to Florida to play paintball. Once in a lifetime experience is the way I look at it.
Just the journey along the way, being able to go to these tournaments this entire season and be able to end it at World is just the perfect ending, I feel like, to the actual season.
Never smell that smell again.
I've replayed it in my head so many times. The timeline is not, I'm not sure how quickly it happened.
For the Blades family, December 2nd was already an eventful day.
I had taken Allie, our 17-year-old daughter, down to Willow Creek to have surgery.
I was walking to class. It's the beginning of finals week.
Dad's always rushing me out of the house to get to basketball practice because they say I always need to be there at 7.
But when Josh Blades came home from taking his daughter to practice, everything had changed.
As I was pulling in, I could see the fire through the kitchen window.
According to the fire investigator, everything was from the stove, origination. There was a grease pan there, and my husband, from him telling me, tried to put it out.
I thought about grabbing a quilt, and then it was raging so hard at that point. It was hot. I looked over on the kitchen table, and there was a bathroom mat that we had just pulled out of the laundry, and it was thick. I thought, okay, well, there's a chance that this might help, or smother it out, but I threw it on there and it just shot a hole straight through it and melted it to my hand a little bit.
After trying to put the fire out, he immediately began searching for their 4 dogs.
Turned the corner, yelled for the dogs. I didn't hear anything. I just didn't see them up there. I don't know how long. It's so hard to figure out how long I took upstairs yelling for them. I guess the dogs are downstairs because we have a dog door and a big fenced-in yard that they can run around in. So I thought for sure, okay, they're down there.
After throwing some of the family's belongings out the front door,
I grabbed my computer, which it has all my CAD drawings on it for the shop, for the business, and took off downstairs looking for the dogs, and they weren't there. So I ran back upstairs. By the time I did, it was just pure black smoke at the top of the stairs, and I could hear one of them moaning. I didn't know where they were. I started to go up. I stuck my head in the smoke, and there was just no way. I mean, there's no way I could have held my breath long enough to do anything.
He ran back downstairs to his guitar repair shop, saving his customers' instruments on the way out the back door.
Then I ran back around the front, and I thought, well, maybe. And I popped the front door. I just shut it immediately. It was so hot. My first trip downstairs is when I dialed 911 and asked for the fire department to get here.
Meanwhile, Josh's daughter Allie was preparing for surgery.
We had just got her dressed into her gown when my husband called, which typically we don't call, we typically just text. When I answered, he was sobbing, just the house is burning down, and I said, "I'm sorry, would you say that again, please?"
Laura and Allie Blades hurried home, while Josh sat in his neighbor's yard as Bella Vista Fire jumped into action.
By that point, I was just out of the way. I just made a bad decision. If I'd have known they were upstairs, I would have gotten them out. But I didn't want to get stuck. I just hoped they were downstairs, and they weren't. I was holding it together fairly well until I saw them bring Mosey outside. And that's when I knew that they were gone. I flipped a coin and I chose wrong. And we lost our buddies.
The Blades lost their 4 family dogs, including Allie's service dog in training, with all but one room on the upper floor of their home being burned, and the lower floor, including Josh's workshop for his business, suffering water damage from when the fire was put out.
My first thought was, where am I going to put my family tonight?
Laura called a close friend for help.
I said, I need you right now. She's like, okay, what is it? And I said, the house is burning down. I need somewhere to put my family tonight. She's like, I got you.
From that point on, the Blades family has received tremendous support from all areas of their lives.
The outpouring of love from every direction, our basketball community, our church community.
I have amazing friends that are here and at school, teachers even, that stopped me in the hallways and took my hand and prayed with me and for me and said that they were there to help.
And I've taught in Bentonville for 24 years, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, all at Sugar Creek. And just so many of my former families, my current families, hopefully future families reaching out to me and just being so genuine and sincere.
And even though the Blades have a lot to do to get back to normal life,
where we go from here is we just get to work.
It starts with the support of their community behind them.
The outpouring of love from our community was just, I cannot say enough good things about them.
I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to go through something like this and not have anyone. And we're incredibly blessed.
She put in the effort, she puts in the miles, she puts in the time, she puts in the effort mentally and physically. She is amazing, absolutely amazing.
This is Bailey, a Bentonville native with a passion for sports.
I am a level 10 gymnast. I also do track for BHS.
Not to mention she's been cycling for most of her life.
I started biking when I was about 6 and racing 10.
This summer, she was supposed to go compete in the 2025 USA Cycling Endurance Mountain Bike National Championships.
We've been preparing for nationals for the better part of a year probably. And we've been ready for short track and for the cross country, the XC race.
But at the last minute, she decided to head out to Virginia a little early.
We weren't even planning on going to the race in the first place, but my friend asked me if I wanted to come, and she said she had room on her car, and I was like, yes, I'd love to go.
She kind of blindsided me with it. I was out of town, and I was going to be coming back into town in preparation for loading up and getting ready and leaving.
I was talking to my dad, trying to convince him to let me go with my friends just a couple days earlier, and I'd meet back up with him later that week. He asked me, he was like, what is your goal? I said, I want to win. And he couldn't really argue with that.
With a 40-mile race and the odds stacked against her.
And the punishment for registering late is to start in the very back of the pack. There were 17 girls and I started dead last.
It wouldn't be an easy goal to accomplish, but that didn't stop her from trying.
My plan going into the course was to go in second, so that way I could follow the person in front of me throughout the whole race and pass them at the finish. So that didn't end up happening. I ended up going into the woods first. About mile 15, I was still in the lead until 2nd and 3rd place passed me at that time. Their names are June and Evan. I did end up catching Evan, and together we rode and we caught first. And we all rode as a pack of 3 for quite a few miles.
And she even helped her competitors along the way.
June had ran out of water, and we were 3-ish miles away from the aid station, so I ended up sharing my water with her. And we made it to the aid station.
But in the end.
So there was one last climb. I went right and she went left, and that is where I got my gap from her. So I pushed those last 2 to 3 miles super hard to the finish, and I ended up finishing about 2 minutes and 10 seconds in front of her, and I was just overwhelmed with excitement.
Bringing home a medal and the national championship jersey.
Only one person per category gets this jersey. I get to wear this jersey during any other marathon style race. It's just kind of about like, oh, she won marathon nationals, like watch out for her. So I think that's pretty cool.
And her dad says he couldn't be more proud of her accomplishments.
Say to Bailey, what do you say to your daughter who just won a national race? Congratulations, you earned it. I can't tell you how proud we are of her.